Hello everybody, this is Free My Games here with another Total War video, but it's not Warhammer 2 like before. We'll still be doing that, do not worry. But I decided I want to do like a historical Total War game as well as the Warhammer game, because honestly I like both of them, and I haven't played a full campaign of a historical Total War in a little while. And I decided I really want to play the Medieval Kingdoms Total War 12-12-80 mod. And so that's what we're going to do. If you look behind me here, there's actually this is my old green screen. I don't use it anymore because some lighting problems and other things. But it's super bright outside my window because the curtains aren't exactly all that good. So it's like white light behind me. So I'm just using this to block off the light, so don't worry about it too much. And hopefully it's not too much of a distraction. So we're gonna play the grand campaign here, the early campaign 12-12-80, which is the only one currently in place. And after taking a decent amount of time to think over what factions I want to play, I decided I want to play the Empire of Nicaea. The reason why is, one, I'm a history buff. This is one reason why I like Total Wars in general. Actually, Total Wars inspired me to go become a history major and got my bachelor's degree in history. Like the Empire Nicaea historically is the faction that reconquered Constantinople in about 1268 roughly, give or take a few years. I think it may be 1266. Oh, the exact date doesn't matter too much because it's not like I'm doing a test or anything like that. But I tend to like to play factions in historical Total Wars relating to like my ancestry. My dad's side's from Greece, so I tend to like to playing a Greek faction. And of course, I can't play the Latin Empire, any of the Latin countries, because those are the invaders. We can't play the invaders. If we do another campaign in the medieval 12-12-AD mod, I'll probably play something more in the Western Europe, but for this first campaign, I want to do the Empire of Nicaea. So, I might as well get started. If you want to, I'll actually read the little background stuff here. Far from the expansive realm of Justinian, and even less of that of the first emperors of Rome, what remains of the Roman Empire has been eroded over time by court intrigue, rebellions, and foreign invaders, still seated in Constantinople since the days of Constantine and leading the Christian people in the East. The emperors enjoyed great prosperity and respect despite numerous setbacks, maintaining still the glory of Rome in a new age. The Komnenos dynasty, who oversaw a great resurgence in imperial power late in the 11th century, has been disposed, and the Angelos dynasty took the throne near the end of the 12th century. Greed and lust for power by the Angeloi caused the empire to open itself to internal and external enemies. The first emperor of the dynasty, Isaac II, was blinded and cast away into a cell by his ambitious brother, Alexios III, who obtained the throne for himself. Serious misgovernment and ill treatment of the people led to the Turks regaining land that the Komnenoi reconquered from the invaders. The deposed ex-emperor's son Alexios IV asked the Crusaders for assistance in regaining, this is the Fourth Crusade by the way, regaining the throne. He promised gold, silver, as well as men and ships for the crusade to Egypt. By 1203 they had reached Constantinople and demanded Alexios III specifically, to give up the throne. When he declined, the first siege begun. After Roman setbacks, Alexios III fled the city, leaving Alexios IV to be crowned co-emperor by his father's side. Alexios III's short reign had the city divided between both factions, and Alexios Doukas, a high court official, rose up and overthrew both Isaac II and Alexios IV, casting them in prison where they finally perished. Since the agreement with the Crusaders was shattered, they besieged the city for a second time and eventually overcame the defenders. Constantinople, the city of the world's desire, was viciously sacked and the empire was partitioned. The last remnants of the Romans were scattered in Nicaea, Epirus, and Trebizond, which are also playable factions. We actually start at war with Trebizond in this campaign. Theodore the First Lascaris rose to the throne in Nicaea, rallying the most significant part of the Roman nobility and led several counterattacks against the new Latin Empire and thwarting a major Seljuk invasion, killing the Sultan Khosrow, I can't pronounce that, in 1211. The truce that was signed following the significant victory could possibly buy enough time for Theodore to throw his strength at the Komnenoi in Trebizond and the Latins on the Anatolian coast. The true objective, however, will always be to send the Latins back to the sea and to sit triumphant in the ancient capital of Constantinople. Largely historically accurate, and they even mentioned Romans, because historically the Byzantine Empire never called themselves the Byzantine Empire. They actually called themselves they always called themselves the Roman Empire all the way up until the very end. So I actually did not know this guy is apparently a Komnenoi. I didn't realize that. But yeah, so we're gonna play on hard difficulty because I never played this mob, so I don't know how difficult things are gonna be. But now that we have gone over the introductions of the faction, we might as well get started. The reason why I know that we started with the Trebizonds is that I actually had done it this is my second attempt at the video. But the first time, whenever I tried encoding it to make it smaller, so that way I can upload it to Rumble or make it easier to upload to YouTube or, and other websites, for some reason they kept causing a UI glitch. So I'm re-recording it in the hopes that fixes it. And we'll see how different I decide to do things for this section. So right here, we're actually starting with a deficit of money. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and make trade with anybody who will allow me to. Most of these people I'm trying to. I actually do not mind this. I'd rather have the trade. I'm actually surprised they gave a trade agreement with me. I think in the last campaign, I think they denied me, if I remember correctly. So we're just gonna go trade with everybody. Fine, I don't mind. I want trade because that's gonna be the most. That's gonna help supplement our income. It's gonna enable us to afford a decently sized army. But Sicily, I have a good relation with Epirus. I just made a treaty with them. Why don't you like me? Love me. Just kidding. Let me see if I can offer them like 1,300 gold. Wow, Sicily really doesn't like me. Let's see, can we get some trade with you? The Kingdom of Thessalonica is going to be one of the first factions we kill, by the way. Because once we kill the Latin Empire, then Thessalonica is in Greece. That means they must be defeated if we're going to reconquer all of Greece and remake first the Byzantine Empire and later the Roman Empire. I wonder if the Venetians will trade with us anyways, just for the fun, just to see. No, alright. Oh well, we got a decent amount of trade going in. I'd say that was very valuable for me. So things to do in this campaign is actually a decent amount of things to juggle due to like the way that the Attila has their systems going up. So I'm going to go for the bureaucratic education because that's going to increase the population of our burghers and make it so it's cheaper to make civic buildings. And it's a nice thing to have. Because I think honestly it's better than most of the civic stuff. Military stuff I'm tempted to kind of go in, but it's not immediate. Definitely later on though I plan to do that. And so I have positions to upgrade one of my settlements a little bit. And after kind of thinking about it a decent amount, probably the settlement I'm going to upgrade is going to be Rhodes. The reason why is Rhodes is on the edge of my empire, which means it's going to be super hard to defend it. For example, Venice decides to declare war on me, or like some other faction on the oceans. So to kind of like make sure that's less likely to succeed, I'm going to upgrade the castle, the fort into a castle, in the hopes that if it gets attacked, the garrison will be decent enough that I can hopefully hold against an army. We'll kind of see how it goes. I mean, that mainly leaves us with very little money, but we take what you can get. So what I'm going to do is the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to Nicaea, and I'm actually going to give my faction leader essentially the majority of the units in this guy's army. That way was the word. That way that way he can make a full army. And what I'll do is I'll recruit like 2 more units or something like that. And this guy could be kind of a garrison army, kind of keeping making sure Smyrna or Dorleon isn't being attacked while I go on the offensive. My first goal is to try and take this settlement here, the Cyzicus is what it's called. So next thing we're going to do is now the political aspect of things. Theodorus, is our faction leader right here. So what we're going to do is, Alexios here is one of his family members. So what we're going to try doing is we're going to basically make them governors, and then we're going to make them better governors by basically giving them more political office. So let's kind of start doing that with the because we're going to focus on the family. Though we can't make our power too strong, because if we make our power too strong, we could be powerful. It starts affecting our growth and our public order, even if it makes us more money. So we do need to balance the power of our faction and the power of the other factions. Because if we end up favoring ourselves too much, then we actually have problems. Which is a bit of an annoying mechanic, but I guess it kind of makes some sense. So what I'm trying to do is try to see if I can make it so everyone gets, like, a decent amount of people get promotions. Can I promote any of you guys? And this what's going to be able to do is that these positions here, they give different bonuses. Actually, I should make this one. I should make Anginokos this one here. I didn't realize that. But basically, what happens is that it gives them bonus influence. It makes it so for the governed province that they're in, it reduces the construction costs. It gives better public order while they're in office. And you can see here, you know, all the guys I'm like promoting so far have been guys who I've set up as governors. So that's perfect for them here. I'm probably going to try to make Anginokos when he gets enough influence. I'll probably try to make him a Magus Stratopedarchus. That way he has his commanded force is stronger as well. And that should hopefully also balance out the power levels. And then this guy, I'm gonna ask him to get a wife. We need all the family members we can get. Though admittedly, historically, having more family members has usually been bad, but this is a video game. Alright, so now we're gonna issue commandments, edicts, which is each of them have different kind of strengths and weaknesses. So what I'm going to do probably out of all of these, if you want to, you can pause and kind of read it. This one's nice public order, but what I want to do is I want to increase growth. Also, it's the only one of the few that do not actually have any negatives. For example, this one I can get more taxes, but minus public order. And right now, public order is a problem, so I'm not going to levy taxes. Empire local ruler reduces my taxes, but also increases public order. The problem with that, however, is that I need the money right now. I can potentially do that later, but I want the money now. So this is kind of the best bonus without costing me anything really. More wealth, more growth is always nice. The only one I'm going to make an exception for, however, is going to be this settlement here. The reason why is that Rhodes has the worst public order out of all of my settlements. See, all of them are at least 0, if not positive. So by doing that, I can make sure that it remains happy, essentially, starting next turn, of course. I'll be able to attack Cyzicus. I'm gonna mess up pronunciation so much. I'm really bad at the pronunciation. I'm not too bad. For example, if I see Greek letters, I could make a decent go at pronunciation. The only time I really have a problem with pronunciation is when sometimes, like, for example, like the Veka, sometimes I do make some mistakes on it. What's the difference between you guys? One's more expensive. Okay. So we're gonna create two units across them, and that'll put us at maximum, and then we'll just wait a couple turns. Should be about 2 to 3 turns, then we should be ready to march on Cyzicus and try and take it. We know this guy is just here to garrison and make sure that the public order stays nice. He does not have enough influence. He's now married. I didn't realize she actually had a negative. This is the first time I played this game, And I've actually got a negative wife. That was my bad. I should not have assumed that she was going to be a decent match. Oh well. Let's just end turn here. But you can see Rhodes right now is a nice smooth 0 in the public order. I mean, it's still negative, like, but it's not getting any worse, is what I need to say. But 2 turns would probably attack, and if these guys actually stay in Constantinople, then I can take Cyzicus without any problems. I could probably actually attack Constantinople if I wanted to. It probably, when I leave, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna move this guy closer to Nicaea. The reason why I'm gonna do that is I'm probably gonna have him garrison Nicaea when I leave, because the Empire of Trebizond to the east, you can see like the red border means I'm at war with whoever I'm bordered with, might come for an attack here while I move to attack here with my main army. So to kind of avoid that happening, I'm gonna have this guy garrison to make it a bit stronger. And all that jazz, so should allow me to put up a decent fight and hopefully stop any invasions. I can't do anything really this turn, so I'm just going to end turn. And then we'll do some stuff next turn. Also, here's my notes. I did swap the camera position for this particular video. No, Latin Empire, you die. You hold the sacred city of Constantinople. I don't mind having a non-aggression pact with you. Eventually I'll go to war with them, but the more like peace deals I have with the East, like non-aggression, nothing more than non-aggression pacts, the better it'll be for me, because I'm gonna at the start I want to focus on the West. Because the West is the place where is where it's gonna be the big issue. So now we're besieging them with our full stack army. So, some of our units still aren't fully recovered, but hey, better to be on the offensive than the defensive, I always say. So let's make 2 things of siege tower, so that'll take 2 turns to do. If I see another, I don't see an enemy army here, so what I might just do is I might move this guy a little bit closer to reinforce. No, actually I'm going to keep him here. For now, at least. I'm going to make the meat market here because it increases public order and growth, as well as generally making money from animal husbandry, which, while that buff isn't quite as useful for us because this doesn't actually have any animal husbandry right now. But, I like the growth in the public order, plus I can actually afford it compared to everything else. Is like twice the price for some reason. But having public order is always good. So we'll just do that. And I'll just have this guy kind of camped here, keeping an eye out, making sure nobody tries to take my capital city. I don't really know if anything necessarily bad happens, but Nicaea is also my biggest settlement, probably, I imagine, so we'll see. We'll see. It's interesting to note, the Seljuks of Rum, basically, Rum is basically the Turkish word for Rome. So when they say the Seljuk of Rum, they mean they're calling themselves the Seljuk of Rome. It's kind of interesting, like how much like the idea of becoming the next Rome kind of like impacts history. It's actually super interesting in my opinion. All right, I have one more turn to attack. I want to make sure that I can take it, and I want the siege towers. So we'll wait a moment to attack. This army isn't actually all that big, so I think combined with my garrison size of, let's see. Yeah, combined with my garrison, I should probably be able to hold off against this attack. The only problem is I won't be able to charge out and take them if they start raiding, is the only real concern. Nope, I refuse to make peace with the people who dare hold Constantinople against me. So they are moving out to attack us. I'm going to quick save just to make sure if the game crashes, I can just reload in. They're attacking me, which means I don't have to worry about about attacking into their city. I don't know if it has walls or anything like that, but unlike Warhammer 2, there's actually settlement battles here, which means they can actually like hold the roads, make it so my cavalry is less effective and all that stuff. That would be a big problem for me. But as it stands, they're attacking me, which means I can take the defensive advantage here. So I'm going to probably take this hill over here to try and set up my army and defend. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our center of our line is going to be our pikes in pike formation. They'll be pretty good at holding the center for us. What's the contour of the hill? Let's have them about right here. I'm assuming they're going to be coming from this direction, but we'll kind of see if we can bait them to come in a direction that's even. If they come actually over here and up, that's actually amazing for us. But if they come straight here, we kind of want to make sure our lines are a little bit flexible. Our weakest infantry is in our army right now is actually going to be our swordsmen, the scout to toy swordsmen. Because they like, according to this, my spearmen have good armor piercing damage, while these guys have nothing. Like, I wonder if they would even meet like the spearmen head on. I'm not really sure, but a bit outside of my knowledge realm. I haven't really played this mod very much, but we'll still find out. And then we're going to split up our cavalry into two different sides. We're going to have my general with this group, and they're going to be grouped up. I wish that I might as well have them in a wedge formation. I really dislike the way this thing just automatically locks groups for me. I do not want my groups automatically locked. But oh well. I've not actually played much Attila. Even when it first came out, I played like a campaign of like the Visigoths. For me, it's always was less optimized than Rome 2 or like most of their other games. So it always ran really poorly for me. Maybe even back here. Always ran really poorly compared to like the other games for me, so I like only played a little bit of it. They had some really cool ideas thrown in, but I just honestly could not stand just how poorly they were set up. How much is the range on these guys compared to these guys? So my crossbowmen actually have less range, so I'm going to have my crossbowmen in front of my bowmen. And then we'll move these guys further back. And that should be good enough, I think. The woods will both be in our favor, but also against us. The reason why I say that is because of the fact that makes cavalry charges slower. But also makes I'm trying to get the set like unit army set up so that way I can flank if they only attack my centers. What I'm trying to do with my guys. I'm gonna have one unit. What is this? Oh, wait. Did I move this guy from wrong flank? Oops. So that's why I'm kind of making like this like a little bit of a curve. Is because of the fact that I want to try and make that work. Oop, I'm trying to angle them nicely for myself. These guys, I'm actually gonna like fold up like that, and then this last spear unit I'm gonna have in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna have this guy in the back in case they try to flank. I don't know if they'll try to flank, but I want these guys ready for it just in case they do. I'm gonna make liberal use of my cabs, my calves, my cavalry. You know what I mean. Let's start the battle. It looks like a decent amount of them are actually starting off on boats. So I'm gonna actually try. I'm gonna bring up my cav. Looks like I do see a decent amount of cavalry from them. Some of my units are revealed, specifically this guy in the end, so which means they're probably gonna try starting to go straight for me. So I'm gonna start moving these guys up. And I'm actually going to try and prepare my general. Moving these guys up more. I might want to run them because that cavalry is actually super strong at Attila, and it's probably exactly the same here. Like to the point where if it charges a spearman unit, it will, like the spearman unit is not guaranteed to win. So it's really like cavalry is king in this game. We're being ambushed! Oh no! Alright, now we're gonna try and charge out. If we can get there in time and we can get like a decent charge against like a couple units who land first, we could wipe them out and completely remove them from the field. There, see, they actually charge this group in a spear wall formation, basically from the front, and they are not all dead. While in like Rome 2, for example, they would all be dead at that point. What? They came from behind? They came from behind? I'm gonna move this unit up to try and support, bring him out of spirit wall. The reason why is if that other like cav is nearby, that could be a really huge problem for me if they like charge into my cavalry when they're not ready. And also if they get, oh, there it is. Oh no, that's really bad. All right, we need to bring these guys over to fight. Yeah, they charged that spear unit and just completely obliterated them with that one unit. I set the swords in. They're actually stuck on the swords right now. So if I can get my other cav in position in time, they should be able to get a decent charge off and completely, like, hopefully obliterate the enemy cav. Meanwhile, I'm gonna bring this one around. Make sure to pull these guys off. Try to rear charge this unit over here, and then if we can clear that up, we can get a good charge in from the behind. And that'll put us in a good spot. Yeah, look at that downhill charge straight into their backs. Now that was a good charge. Now that should wipe the floor with them. Damn, they're not all dead. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. How much was that kill? Only 4 kills with that really nice charge. Damn. Hot diggity damn. There, now it's starting to waver. Alright, the enemy general is also starting to waver, so that'll be a huge early advantage for me. Perfect, we kill the enemy general. He's fled, his like bodyguards fled, they're shattered. I'm gonna have them walk to get themselves in position. You get back into formation. Meanwhile, you guys start forming up. Yep, charge now. The enemy is now in a very easy position to punish. As they land, the enemy is very susceptible to being charged. And there's no spear units left to defend them right now, and we're gonna bring the second unit of cav over here to try and basically be a screening force for my main army. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna change up slightly the targets here. I'm actually gonna bring this guy back, just to be on the safe side. They may actually escape, which would be unfortunate. Yeah, they're gonna get away, so I'm gonna pull back the cav, so that way they do. Yeah, that guy just shattered right even before impact. Where's my general? He's still over here. I'll have him be a screening army, a screaming force right there. Screening force. Did I say screaming force? I meant to say screening force. Alright, now we're gonna pull back now before we can't allow my cav to be bogged down. Get out of wedge and run. That was a good charge. My general's gonna charge them head on now. Out of wedge over here. There we go. That sergeant, the spear unit was just shattered right there because of that charge. And this cav unit's starting to run away. That cav unit is still holding out, unfortunately for me. These guys I'm gonna wedge up right now. I can get a good charge off with that cav there. I war cry this one just to get it to run away faster. And we're gonna flank now. Oh, they're back over here. And then charge over here. You charge at their flank. Boom shakalaka. The 1-2 punch. These heavily chevaliers are doing a pretty good job holding out. Now these guys need to run. They're gonna die if they stay here. Good, but they got the shatter off. No! Don't get yourselves killed, Cav! Dang it, they got bogged down. Right, now these guys need to fall back, out of wedge and run. Dang, these guys broke. Oh, we need to run. We need to run now. We need to run. Alright. The Cav did all they can. Now they need to fall back and get back into position. Alright, so these guys are my cataphracts. That's another one. That's the other general. Looks like that's chasing me. My Cav did a good job harassing. Keep moving, guys. I didn't order you to fight. It'd be unfortunate for our faction leader to die in this very first battle. I mean, that'll kind of show him that, you know, maybe he needs to get a bit better, but... Yeah, my guys are exhausted. These guys are are pretty only winded, which means they might actually catch up, which is a bit of a concern. Alright, right now, basically any one of my cav that remain, I'm going to try and just have them, like, fall back behind our lines and try to, and basically just have them try to, like, recuperate, you know? Alright, that's going to be a very painful charge. I can already tell. Oh, unless they charge right into my pikes instead. In which case, that's very nice for me. I thought they were about to charge straight into my sword infantry. But no, they went straight into my spear infantry instead, like last minute. I was like, oh, that could be bad. And then like, oh, actually, that's suddenly went from bad to not too bad. Alright, now I can get in, like, dig in them from the flank here. And they just shattered. Perfect. That's a general dead. You guys get back in formation. I'm gonna have these guys ready to support the front line. That was a good spear wall, held the line. My guys are very tired, even though they're lighter cav. They probably won't be able to. I'm gonna charge my spearmen now into this cav unit. It's gonna spray. It's gonna shatter that unit. But these guys were not charged, and they're fresh, which means they should be able to deal pretty effectively with these Latin chevaliers. Yep, shattered. Perfect. Now these guys can take the other guy's position in line. Did I have a unit randomly over here that's now dead that I didn't even know existed? I can now start having my own my cav now start messing with their archers. I'm gonna have him walk a little bit. No, he's active. He should be able to run. I believe in him. Alright, now this is where the infantry battle comes in. They're charging into my pike units. My peltasts are going in. My cav have basically done almost all of what they can, which is still a lot. Cav are very strong. I'm gonna make sure I charge into the bow militia, not the crossbowmen at arms. The reason why is that crossbowmen at arms are actually pretty strong in melee, and my cav are all weakened right now. Even like now I'm gonna move these guys in flank to flank these guys now, and if I can just collapse my flanks in on them, that'll be super good for me. All right, their flanks are completely open. There we go, that cav did their work. I'm gonna have to follow them back now. Perfectly done. General's tired, these guys are winded. I want these guys to charge. These guys don't need to be in shield wall anymore. Guys, keep moving backwards. I told you to retreat, not to re-engage. Don't be brave. Alright, well, hopefully these spearmen can hold while I slowly collapse the flanks around the enemy. Their general is dead, so that's a pretty big advantage for me, but who knows? I see that one routing. Do I have Warcry up? Let's break their spirit. Perfect charge there from that cav. Broken that unit of bow militia. Let's have them walk now that they seem to be out of combat. I'm gonna have these guys charge right into the backs of those sergeants. Spear unit's doing a good job holding. I did in fact break that one unit where I used my war cry on them. They broke. I'm gonna get those guys ready for a flank. Did those spearmen actually just charge right through my swordsmen? Oh, they broke. I think that's going to be the end of the enemy army by the looks of things, but except the crossbowmen are not really threatened, so they're not breaking yet. But we'll send in our cav to help deal with them. I want to kill as many of these guys as I can, because the simple fact of the matter is that the more that are dead, so I'm just going to fast forward here. The more enemies that are dead means the less I need to worry about. So they attacked me, I did not attack them, which means I still need to take the settlement. Oh, there's still a unit of spears. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, I thought they were all, oh, no wonder they didn't run. Fudge. That's bad. Thankfully, they didn't catch my general. That would put me in a bad spot. They did unfortunately catch one of my cav and actually did a lot of damage to them. I'm gonna have my generals run. The reason, and then I'm gonna have him try to war cry again. There we go. Broke that one. There we go. They all shatter now. Alright, so you guys can focus on just basically now I can just focus on killing all of the routed enemies. Basically weaken them as much as possible, so I'm just gonna speed up. Because right now this is basically just the phase where I'm just cutting into all the enemies, chopping them up, basically making it so they're no longer a threat. And potentially like any units like might be so weakened that they might actually just disappear. That's going to be a very important unit to kill. Crossbowmen, men-at-arms. My general did a good job. He got how many kills? 100. Almost. He's going up more and more now, as he's clearing up the what remains of the enemy. But my archers did not really get a whole lot of kills. My pikemen got that pike unit. No, that speaking got 117 kills, 56, 90. This pikeman got 62. This one that got a little bit damaged. I think it was just sitting there like holding the line while archers just kept peppering them, so they didn't really get an opportunity for many kills. I think that last one is the last big unit remaining, so I'm just gonna have that unit have my general charge into him, finish it off. I say a big, but I mean kind of big. Alright, that should be good enough. We'll end the battle here. It was a close victory. Actually, well, I got my first and the first time I ran this, I actually faced 2 armies instead of 1. Instead of like the 1 plus the garrison, I faced 2 armies plus the garrison, and I actually was able to win it. 2, so it was a heroic victory. I don't know where that 3rd army is now, but I still need to contest it compared to just having killed 2 armies. So we'll see how it goes. This one I was a little bit more effective with my cavalry, I think, compared to the first battle. Now that I knew just how strong they were. Let's take on warriors because we do need the replenishment, because we're going to be attacking the settlement. It looks like that might be a raiding camp potentially. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tag, if the chance is high enough, I'm just going to auto-resolve it, because I already beat up their arm. Yeah, I'm just going to auto-resolve it. There's basically nothing here. Hopefully they don't kill any of my units with this auto-resolve. And there we go. We did kill one of my units with the auto-resolve. Damn. Do I want to make a lot of provincial instability and have some unit replenishment, or do I want money? I want money. Give me your money. I did actually lose a unit because of that auto-resolve that I wouldn't have otherwise lost. That's a feels bad man moment. Oh, I did not want to dismantle that. I wanted to, yeah, I'm gonna maybe I'll dismantle it. No, never mind. Fishing, peasantry growth, bonus commerce, road development 15 compared to. So basically, this has some bonuses to it. I'm gonna keep it. I just need repair. I don't think I can afford to repair. Can I afford to repair it? I don't think I can afford to repair. That's why it doesn't give me that option. Does that mean they're raiding? It doesn't say that they're raiding, so I don't know. So now we can make some traditions. So I want morale, because morale is going to be super important, I feel like, in this campaign. So let's do that. Just do straight up morale. What's this? Wealth from governed province, cunning, authority, zeal, recruitment, personal influence, tax rate. Looks like this line is going to be the most important. Alright, team. We are going to save here and call it a video there. It's getting on in time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cloud. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video where we are playing as the Empire of Nicaea, hoping to restore the Byzantine Empire and later on the whole Roman Empire. We captured the city of Cyzicus. We had a nice battle against the Latin Empire, defeated them, took the city with an auto resolve. Just because there's like basically nothing left. I feel like we'd be a waste of time. Though I did unfortunately lose a unit because of that auto resolve, so technically it wasn't a waste of time after all. I lost one of my better units to it. Oh well. We set up our governorships, we set up some intrigue, we got some people we set up some people to be married. Next time in this campaign, we're going to try and take Constantinople. But firstly, what we need to do is we need to deal with this Empire of Trebizond army that is sitting on our border. Because we do not allow enemies to just go about our lands unimpeded. So they shall face our wrath. Alright. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever it may be. This video series will be releasing every Thursday, while my Warhammer 2s will be every Tuesday. I'm also live streaming on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday evenings at twitch.tv/fearmy_games. If you guys want to see some Guild Wars 2 raids, or right now I've started a live stream Warhammer 2 campaign as well. For now, I'm probably gonna for a few weeks. And then it's going to become every other week on Thursdays kind of a thing, most likely. We'll kind of see how it goes, but I'm starting as a Lizardman, so that's hopefully going to be pretty fun. I haven't done a full campaign on Lizardmen ever, and I haven't played them since the game first came out. So hopefully you guys have a good day. Take care. See you guys next time.